Welcome everyone to another day with Kenny the Colorado Gambler. Today is Thursday, April the 6th, 2023. As I mentioned yesterday, we are just loading up lately for the big fight that's coming up on the 22nd. I've been hyping that up. It's a great time actually to open up a new account with any of the current promotions that are available in your area. If they're not available in your area, as you know, we offer a proxy service. Bet365 currently has one of the better promotions. You make a $10 deposit, you bet, it might be only $1, I think it is, and they give you $200 in your account. Some of the larger promotions are Caesars and MGM. I hear people on the RC comments on Facebook because the things that I've been mentioning are now being promoted. Maybe that's their algorithm and they're only shooting it to me. But I get a lot of promotions now on Facebook regarding these sports books, probably because that's what I do. But if you don't know anything about it, hit me up. I'll explain a little bit more about how the promotions work. For those that have tried it with me, I've been sending out a couple of links individually to certain people because we have these conversations daily. We text, we chat. I say, hey, this is what we're doing with our bankroll today. Keep everybody's money separate. Everybody has their own different accounts. If you only put a couple bucks in there, then the increments that we use are smaller. One beauty of dealing with me, and I've explained about having a bankroll, is when your things aren't looking good on one side of the wager, then we jump on another book, man, and try to recoup some of our losses, if not all of our losses, sometimes even profit from the information that we've obtained. So that requires paying attention to the games, having useful information, knowing exactly what you're looking for. And the main thing is trying to find value in your investments, trying to find a value in the money that you're spending. So people find it in different ways. They build parlays where you can increase your payout and wins, but you also increase your chances of losing. No one recommends that. Another way to build your bankroll is just small increments daily, and always try to come up at the end of the day with a winning percentage, like 3 out of 5, 2 out of 3, 5 out of 7. Whatever you find opportunity and value, that's where we're investing our money. So that's what we do on a daily basis. Some people, we don't get to talk because we all have different jobs and things that we have to do during the day. So I start putting these videos together because my client base is building a little bit. I'm so hyped now that we can build a bankroll and we can start learning now before football season, which is my favorite sport. Boxing, as I mentioned, there's a lot of promotions going on for the Gavonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight coming up. So if you want any information on how to make an investment in that, I can do it for you. I can open up an account to show you how to open up an account depending on where you are. But either way, I can get it in for you. That's what I'm here for. So videos are coming again slowly. I got to do better on my timing because as you see, we got baseball games going already. I spent the night before gathering a lot of information, but the only game that I was interested in today is the Washington and Colorado baseball game. NBA, as I told you, we've backed off of because it's crazy right now. The playoffs are starting next week, so teams really don't care. They do not want anyone injured. So the players that you're seeing right now on the floor are getting ready for next year, trying out for next year, putting in work for next year. Shout out to the McGowan's family. I hyped my man up a couple years ago when he was at Nebraska. The older brother, even when he was at Pitt. So that's my hometown homies. And shout out to the McGowan fans. Proud to see Bryce out there doing this thing. Hope to see the older brother soon. So today, we're going to wrap this up a little shorter. Main thing is if you're interested in the fight, I had a couple people hit me up about the fight. Let me know. Can't do that last minute right before the bell rings. I mean, we can, but everything has to be in place. Take some logging into an app or making some phone calls, whatever I have to do. So let's jump on that early. Take advantage of these promotions. If you're in a state where you are able to, I'm not going to list them all. But it's growing from what I see. At some point, we will have 80% of the United States will all have sports books apps available. I read that this morning somewhere. All right, so today we're going to roll with the Colorado Rockies at home, coming home off of a 4-game losing streak. They haven't looked that great, but at the same time, you got to look at who they faced in the scheduling as well as the pitching. A lot of information in baseball that you can decipher in order to come up with your picks. Main thing is pitching. You always want to know what's your pitcher's status. How did he look last time he was out? Early in the season like now, all you really have is last year's stats. How did he end last season? Hopefully you watch some spring baseball like I did, of course. See how he looked in the spring. In these first few weeks, like I said, we just kind of slow it down and see what they're capable of until they build their arm strength, until they get a little stronger. So pitching is one key indicator. Hitting, obviously, is the other. But who have these hitters faced? Have they hit good pitching? Are they hitting weak pitching? Are they not hitting weak pitching, which indicates a lot? So there's slugging percentages. There's K percentages. I have a whole list here. There's a couple of sites that you can go to and gather all of these stats for you. Batting percentages, pitch percentage, slugging, on base, all of that is valuable when you're trying to put together your investment. It takes a lot of time, trust me, and you got to kind of know what you're doing. So that's what I'm here for, to help you out on a daily basis if you like to. Today, though, we have Kyle Freeland facing Josiah Gray. The Washington, they come in pretty beat up as well. They're 1-5 so far. So the Rockies are 2-4, two bad teams. A lot of times with bad teams, depending on the pitching, you have a choice of the over and under. So pitching wise, back to Freeland, I noticed that he only had 1 strikeout in his last performance, but he only gave up 3 hits. So indicates that he's a big time ground ball pitcher, gets the ball in play, but keeps the ball on the ground, which is hard to do in Coors Field with the altitude. Everybody talks about the altitude, and it's true out here. Ball flies out, hard to breathe. All of that is sincere. Josiah Gray has a 9.0 ERA based on his first time out. He did have 4 Ks, which is not bad for 5 innings of work, but he did give up 7 hits. Those 7 hits were pretty hard, as he gave up 3 home runs. So if he's giving up 3 home runs, I forgot which ballpark they were at. I'll have to look into that. But of course, Field is not the place to be giving up deep fly balls, because it will leave the yard. So what we're looking at is we're going to take Kyle Freeland at home. Actually, we're going to find value. We'll have to discuss that. To take Colorado to win just straight up, it's minus 150. So you have to put up 150 just to get $100. That's the thing about baseball and boxing I was explaining. You have to put up more money to invest on the favorite. Now, what we can do, and I believe in and I'll do, is take the run line, which means that the Rockies will have to beat them by 1.5 runs instead of just 1. They'll have to beat them by practically 2, might as well say, in order to win the investment. But what we will pay out, you got to search. That's another thing. You have to search around to different books. That's why we have multiple apps that we can look into. And at one, I think the best number I found was around plus 128, 125. But you have to shop around. There's a lot of places that you can look to find these numbers. I don't want to share the one site that I normally work with, because I'm waiting to hear back from them about some promotions. And all of the books that I use are not synced to this app yet. So they give all the lines and numbers for all the books, but I can't go in and sync my information to that app yet. They know who they are. We've been conversating about that flaw. It's just a matter of time, though. Their app is new. They're just looking for some ambassadors, some people to pump it up. I'm not going to pump it up until it's ready to roll. So find your numbers where you can find them. I'm not going to run out any promotions, but I have a few different places. I was telling one of my clients yesterday that I learned to just pay for the information. I used to stay up all night crunching numbers and trying to find these numbers on each individual game. That's a lot of information. So with all the technology we have nowadays, there's available apps ready for you. You just have to pay a couple of bucks. I paid $9.99 for something. One I will give to you now, since basketball season is over, and you can look into it next year, is Ken Palm. If you're any of my clients, I've given you Ken Palm. You know how that is so valuable, and we used it the right way. You have to put your own formulas together and know how to decipher the information. And it worked great for us this basketball season and this March Madness season. So Ken Palm, matter of fact, you hear it in the NCAA tournament. You hear all of the ESPN guys when they talk basketball, college basketball, because it's only for college basketball. Ken Palm, KENPOM.com. I will pump him up because his information is so valuable. Other than that, you search around, find the best number you can find, invest wisely. If you have any gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I have to put that in there. It's a little phase for YouTube. And also, we'll start adding the links for these promotions down available. If you do not know how to add or to contact these promotions, I will make those available in my links. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube page. I was looking into something today. We can go live with 50 subscribers. I don't have that many subscribers. Not many people do that I know do what I do. May have, like, I think we're only up to, I started a new channel, so that's another reason. 18 now on one channel. My old channel had 26, but that was different content. It was a bunch of videos of sports from games that I've watched. So in my kids' games and things like that. So I didn't want to mix that together. So far on this new channel, have about 18. If you're in a state where it's legal, spread the word for me. Tell them, hey, check out this guy. He seems to know what he's doing. And I'll show you how. Let's get it. Have a good evening, and we will check in tomorrow on that pick, Colorado minus the 1.5 runs, and see how we start. And let's start building our bankroll, getting ready for next season. It just rolls season to season. That's what we do. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining Kenny the Colorado Gambler.